take home book number 112, Brave Tony.
Brave Tony by Dennis Fertig. Illustrated by Siri Weber Feeney. Core Decodable 112. A Bright Light 3. A Good Plan 11. A bright light. On a hot night, Tony liked his window and blinds open. Then he could feel cool breezes. He could see the moon. Lately, a bright light changed things. It filled Tony's room. He had to shut his blinds. The light came from the next house. The house was Mr. Bloom's. He was new on the block. He did not talk much. He just stood and looked at plants. Now Tony was not thinking about Mr. Bloom. Tony was reading a good book. It was about a brave man. The man took a chance. He climbed the highest peak on earth. The man was brave, but not foolish. He made good plans. The book was true. The man was real. Tony liked true books. He liked them better than made-up books. Soon, Tony flipped his lamp switch. He had to go to sleep. It was hot. Tony opened his blinds and window. When he did, Tony's room was bright. It seemed like his lamp was still on. Tony shook his head. It was too bright. A good plan. Tony knew what he had to do. He had to talk to Mr. Bloom soon. But Tony felt afraid. Tony thought about how the brave man climbed the peak. That man made a good plan. Tony would, too. The next afternoon, Tony went to Mr. Bloom. Tony carried the book with him. It helped him act bravely. "Hi, Tony," said Mr. Bloom. "Hi, Mr. Bloom," said Tony. Then Tony followed his plan. He told Mr. Bloom about the light. Tony told him in a nice way. Mr. Bloom smiled and said, "Tony, you are right. I will turn down that light."
Oh, good way. Make a plan, follow it, say it nicely. Works out.
Mr. Bloom saw Tony's book. "I like that brave climber," he said. He and Tony talked and talked. Brave Tony made a good pal.
Now, there you go.